As we wind down in 2019, there's about 4 months left of the year. And I want to take a look back and give you just some of the common pitfalls that I have seen over this year that I think are running rampant. I hope that you can use this list as a tool for your own healing to say, man, I don't want to fall into those pitfalls. And it sounds like those are some of the most common pitfalls that people fall into. So I'm going to throw this list out there because I want you to have the next 4 months of this year to just be so fulfilling and rewarding and so momentum building that you have something to stay away from, right? We oftentimes know that we're trying to pursue something, but we oftentimes know we're trying to avoid things as well. And so as you look at your own situation, whether it be your own healing or your relationships healing, I hope that you'll stay away from these pitfalls. I have found that these are some of, if not the most common pitfalls of the year so far. Yes, for me, I'm enveloped in the world of infidelity and addiction. I'm completely enveloped with people who are in crisis and the mistakes that they're making, the things that are going really well. And then I make these little video things and try and give you my life and what I've learned and what worked and what didn't work in hopes that you can not make the same mistakes that I have made. These pitfalls are warnings for you. Maybe you're involved in them already or you're doing them, and I hope that you will do all that you can to stop doing them. Maybe you're not doing them, and at the end of the video, you and your spouse or partner can go, man, we're doing pretty good. We're not making those mistakes. So here we go. Number one is looking for a shortcut. There are no shortcuts. You're not going to find one. You're going to have to do recovery work. It's going to take time. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take financial sacrifice. It's going to be uncomfortable. And so you're going to have to get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have to get comfortable in uncomfortable groups or discussions or situations because there is no shortcut. You can't hurry your spouse. You, as an unfaithful, will not be able to hurry your betrayed. In fact, they'll resent you for it. You betrayed cannot hurry your unfaithful because they'll end up feeling like you're momming or dadding them and they'll resent you as well, and you guys will pull further and further apart. Give up any hope that this can be fixed easily or that it will just blow over or blow away. The second pitfall, probably 70% unfaithful, 30% betrayed, is minimizing. When we as unfaithful spouses minimize the impact of our choices or minimize the impact of the betrayed's damage and hurt and pain and suffering, we miss it. When unfaithfuls continue to minimize the impact of their choices, it pushes the betrayed spouse further and further away. When the betrayed chooses to minimize the impact of their unfaithful's choices upon themselves, it causes incredible pain and hurt, and it stalls your recovery. You cannot minimize the impact of betrayal either upon yourself or upon your spouse. The third pitfall is making other lesser things more important than repair work or recovery work. I know you got to pay the bills. I know you got to take care of the kids. I know that there are companies and assets and so many responsibilities, but nothing can be more important than the repair work for your own healing or your relationship's healing. I see couples all the time say, man, we're so busy, we have so much going on, and then they wonder why they wake up in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and they're still stuck because they haven't given priority to their repair work. Nothing can be more important than trying to heal yourself and heal your relationship outside of obviously taking care of your children and their needs. Number 4 is hoping that the other partner or spouse leads recovery work. I see it all the time. One spouse kind of sits back and goes, you know what? I'll wait for them to lead. They can take action, sign us up, initiate all of that, rather than saying, look, I don't know if you're going to do this, but I'm going to do this. I know that you're not sure you want to participate, but I can't wait for you. I'm going to do all I can for me. I'm going to do everything I can for my own healing. You can jump in or you can jump out, but I'm not waiting for you to lead us. I'm going to lead myself because I care so much about my own healing. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help me heal and manage my side of the street. Number 5 is good old-fashioned pride. I mean, it's funny that we just sometimes don't want to admit that we've been unfaithful. And you don't need to tell everyone. Sometimes you can maybe try and not tell anyone except your therapist or your group or your spouse, and maybe 1 or 2 close friends. But it's not like you have to make videos for hundreds and thousands of people to see and watch. But I will tell you, you cannot let your pride stop you from taking a course, signing up for one of our online courses, or going to a professional to get help. Sometimes it comes down to just humbling yourself and saying, look, I don't care about my image anymore. I'm going to go get help. Sure, if you're a high level or a high profile figure, you can use an alias, or maybe you can't go to a certain group, but you can do other things, participate online using an alias, find a therapist that deals with VIP clients, and I can help you with that. I mean, something has to be done. There comes a point you have to humble yourself and say, I care more about getting help than I do about what people think of me. Number 6 is the pitfall of blame. Either blaming your spouse for your affair or blaming yourself for your spouse's affair. I just assure you, as long as you resort to blame, it's going to cause you to feel stuck. It's going to cause you to stunt your own growth. It's going to push your spouse or partner away from you. As long as you continue to resort to blame, you're going to find that you just can't gain any momentum. And you're going to continue to have this uneasy, angry, just stuck feeling. And then that stuck feeling gives way to more and more anger and bitterness and resentment, which for an unfaithful can cause their own relapse. For a betrayed, they may have their own affair, or they may alienate themselves from everybody and experience more and more depression and hopelessness and despair. The next pitfall is deciding, you know what, we're just going to do it ourselves. Like, we're strong, very educated people. We can figure this out on our own. I assure you, you can't. The layers are too deep, too many, and too overpowering. You don't need to. Why would you try and reinvent the wheel when there are at least a few organizations out there in the internet that can absolutely save your life? You can't figure this out on your own. In fact, you're going to probably cause more collateral damage, and you don't want to do that. We don't want you to do that. We have free resources, hundreds of them at affairrecovery.com. We have online courses, intensives. There's other organizations out there that you can visit to get help. But don't try and do it yourself. You'll probably only just screw it up. I know, I did. I tried to do it myself for a good couple of months and made things worse, not better. The final pitfall is not drawing boundaries, and this is probably 90% betrayed, 10% unfaithful. There's a point where you have to be willing to say, look, I'm no longer going to tolerate this. Because as long as I keep tolerating this, I'm going to get these actions. I'm going to have these things happen to me, and I can't live like that. And especially you betrayed, there comes a point where you say, look, I can't keep rolling over and just allowing the unfaithful to do what they want, when they want, how they want. There comes a point you have to say, look, I actually have power in this situation, and I don't have to tolerate everything that comes my way. I can draw boundaries and stand up for myself. I can then kind of hand out some consequences if the unfaithful refuses to quit acting out or quit being involved with their affair partner or won't get help. You have the ability to exercise power and influence and boundaries. I know it can seem tough, I know it can seem hard, but I can just tell you what you tolerate, you cannot change. And a great pitfall is continuing to tolerate things that you know are wrong, or overlooking significant red flags and falling prey to the belief that you can't do anything about them when actually you can, but it's so fearful to think that you should or you can. So get help for that. Don't keep tolerating what you know is destructive behavior, because it's not going to just magically get better on its own. I hope that these pitfalls have helped you. I have found that this year, these are the most common. I hope to do a video like this every year, and maybe I'll do another one at the end of the year, but these are the pitfalls that people are falling prey to every single day. If you can avoid these pitfalls, I promise you, you're going to get better and better. If you're succumbing to these pitfalls now, I hope that you will identify them and begin to push them out of your life and begin to make changes, because you're worth those changes. You're worth all this hard work. You're worth all the agony that you're trying to deal with, because your life still has value and meaning and purpose. You are not to be thrown away. Your life is not thrown away. There is another chapter. There is another level of healing and redemption for you. Don't throw away the book. Don't throw away the script. Do not throw away your life.